So, dark feminine energy. This is how you are going to enter your villain era and actually level the F up, glow up before and during 2024. So, dark feminine energy is probably the most powerful thing that I have ever tapped into to change my life, level up, get the life I want, and so much more. Honestly, it's all about how I stopped self-sabotaging, procrastinating my desires, and actually manifesting the life that I want. So first of all, what you need to do to actually do this glow up, to like enter your villain arc or whatever you want to call it, is you have to use and tap into your dark feminine energy in order to just kill that old identity. Literally destroy her, like stab that old identity and never look back. What this identity is attached to the old version of yourself. The old version of you that would people please. The old version of you that would accept things below the standards that you knew that you required and desired and were your birthright to actually request from reality. So any remnants of her, any remnants of this old people-pleasing, not dark feminine at all, like not goddess energy identity needs to be gone. That's how you actually level up, is by that being gone. Her limiting beliefs have to die with her. Her victim story has to go with her. None of these things can come with you into the next level. This is not you entering a level where you bring all of this baggage with you and then you expect it to be easy and for you to manifest your desires. All of that needs to be gone. Like you know deep down, you don't actually want that with you anymore. You want to get rid of it. Like you're begging. It's just a weight on your shoulders that can and needs to be lifted in order for you to get to the next level. You must make this like 1,000,000% commitment to yourself that you're not going back. Otherwise, that's where the self-sabotage happens. As I've said in many of my other videos, self-sabotage is when you keep going back to the old identity and the new version of yourself is right here. And you're like making progress towards her. You are doing the things that she's doing, showing up as her, being her. But then you continue to stay attached to the old identity like an ex that you can't stop talking to. And that is how you're going to keep self-sabotaging. So when you make that 1,000,000,000%, whatever that percentage is for you, commitment to not going back to her, to like ruthlessly cutting her the F off, like someone toxic from your past, that's how you make progress into this next level woman. You have to be ruthless about it. This isn't like this is true self-love. This isn't like be nice to, be nice about it, like keep people pleasing with yourself. No, like we're done with that. The old version of you has to go in order for you to fully get into the next identity. So number 2 is you need to be so tired, so freaking tired of your own bullshit and your own excuses, and so done with literally the reality that you want not working out for you and you seemingly not being able to get it, and you never get the relationship that you want, you never get the income that you want, you never get these things in your reality manifested. It's all just staying in your imagination, and you're actually becoming pissed the F off that you're not getting it. You have to be done. Literally look at your life, look at your vision boards that you've made, look at whatever it is that you desire to see come into reality and you desire to experience, especially as a feminine woman, right? Like we have the power to call anything into our reality. But if we're playing by these small rules, by these limiting beliefs that aren't even true, then we're never going to see it. So you have to make that ruthless decision of, okay, I'm either going to continue to stay in my victim stories, to self-sabotage, to make, decisions that actually go against my health, my wealth, my wellness, the relationship that I actually want. You can continue to make those decisions, but you're never going to level up into the woman that you want to be. That's just the harsh truth. You can play around and, be on Pinterest, be on YouTube, watch 1,000 of these videos and get motivated and be like, oh yeah, 2024 gonna be my year. Well, is it? Is it? I mean, it can be. It can be your year if you actually decide to stop making excuses for yourself, if you decide to get fed the fuck up with what you have been experiencing and you know that you deserve better, like it's your literal birthright to step into better for yourself. You can be done with it. Or you can continue to play the little game and play the little cycle of I don't get what I want. It's either or. And this is where dark feminine energy comes into play, because when you tap into that, like, it gets savage. It gets ruthless to where you aren't willing to accept that shit anymore. You aren't willing to live that life. Like, it actually it's repulsive. It makes you sick. And that's how you know, like, you are done. And if you can, go into the shadow of that and actually feel that before your life gets to the point where it just makes you feel it yourself, that's next level. But that will be so potent in your level up, and you can just be like, oh my God, I've been accepting this in relationships. Disgusting. Disgusting. Never fucking again. And you're going to cut that shit off immediately and never go back. That's dark feminine energy. You're going to look at your reality and be like, wow, this isn't for the weak, right? Like, leveling up is for women who take radical responsibility for their lives. This is not some little world that we play around in. I mean, it can be, but it's not something that you just go in and out of. And like every other month you think, oh yeah, maybe I should level up again. Bitch, this is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. And you need to choose that every day if you are seriously sick of yourself self-sabotaging and going back to that old identity that just accepted so much bullshit in her life, that allowed other people and even her own emotional reactions to drain her luxurious feminine energy from her. I don't think so. That is not what we're doing moving forward. You know better. And you know that you deserve better, and it's time for you to actually claim that. Be so done with it. Self-sabotage is not something that one day you just miraculously wake up from and stop doing. It's not. I wish it was, right? And it does feel like that once you get through it, but it's really not. What it is you choosing and making decisions daily to become aware of when you're doing it, and then deciding that you're not going to do it anymore. So say in 2024, you want to lose weight, you want to get in shape, you want to build muscle, whatever your goal is, right? Fitness is normally a pretty common goal. And you actually just DoorDash meals all the time that are unhealthy. You don't meal prep anything to have healthy food in your fridge ready for you and have easy access so that you don't have to use the willpower to like not go get something easy and then once you're tired have to cook for yourself. Well, you can do either or, right? You can continue to make life harder for yourself and even continue to hang out with friends who like don't care about their health, who don't prioritize themselves, who allow themselves to stay stuck in their victim stories. And we'll get into this in a minute. Or you can be savage with yourself and be like, no, what would this higher version of me, this next level identity who is very in touch with her dark feminine, what would she do? She would not put herself into situations where she's not going to reach her goals with anything, and especially not with her physical health and appearance. That's just non-negotiable. So you need to choose daily to not self-sabotage. And after, weeks and months and a year of that, you're a completely changed person. Like, you are up-leveled just by these daily choices, right? It's not like identity switches aren't just some miraculous one-time event. It's a daily fucking choice. I go every day into my journal and I have written down my next level identity. I go in here every single day and I read, who is she? What are her beliefs? How does she show up every day? How does she look? Like, what does she do for herself? And then I switch into that, especially on the days where I feel like it's hard or I can't do it or I am going to self-sabotage. No. I just go in here and read this and then get so fed up with my own shit that we're doing it differently. And we're choosing that every single day. Your desires don't care about your excuses. Plain and simple. I know it's hard to hear, but they don't care. Your, bank account doesn't care about your excuses. Your ideal relationship doesn't care about your excuses that you're making on why you don't get to have it, but then still complaining that you want it. They don't care. And guess who also doesn't care? Your next level version of yourself. That next level, goddess level, whatever you want to call it, identity. That self-concept that has assumptions about her life that gets her exactly what she wants. She does not make excuses. At least not on the level that you're making now. And she definitely does not care about the excuses that you're making to keep yourself separate from her. That's what it is. All of this self-sabotaging, making excuses, not actually tapping into that dark feminine, ruthless energy of raising your standards. It's all rooted in fear and keeping you separate from your actual desires and the lifestyle that you actually want to live. So, do you want to keep yourself separate from that? I know you don't. We have desires for a reason. We don't want to stay separate from them and just watch them, float through our imagination and never actually claim them, never actually see that money, never actually, marry the provider man or whatever your desires are. We don't always want to keep looking at things on Pinterest and never seeing them manifest into our reality. That's not a fun game. That honestly sounds like torture. And so when you start to do this and start to, fall off from the goals that you set for yourself and make excuses for it, like I'm tired, I can't have this because of this, let the limiting beliefs run the show, just know that what you're really doing is torturing yourself. You have goals and desires, and if you don't, let yourself and get clear on them first. But likely you have things that you want to experience in this life, and it's your birthright to do so. And to continue to torture yourself and hold yourself back, it just doesn't make sense at the next level. Like, I look back at myself when I used to do this, and it was all a delusion of fear. I didn't have to do that for so many years. I didn't have to do that to myself. I could be years ahead by now if I didn't do that, right? And I forgive myself. But I'm not going to keep doing it. And, that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again in hopes of getting a different result. At some point, you have to sit down with yourself and be really fucking real and take responsibility for, I'm the one accepting this. I'm the one who emotionally reacts to situations that I said I'm not available for anymore. I'm the one who continues to allow men to treat me this way. I'm the one who continues to not show up on my business. I'm the one who continues to get scared and not invest in myself mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. I'm the only one that can choose that for myself. There is no one who can choose that for me. And there is no one who truly has control over me. So I have to take radical responsibility for that at some point. Now, number 3 is refuse to entertain the struggle that your 3D reality has been showing you. So again, dark feminine energy here. She knows, and she has the standards. Think about this like next level dark feminine tapped in queen version of yourself. She knows and has the standards that it gets to be easy and she doesn't struggle. And if she is struggling, she needs to reassess what the hell is going on here, because she doesn't exist in that reality. So just remember, and this is when you really, really start to shift, you're showing up in that next level identity the majority of the time. And if you're confused on this whole next level identity thing, definitely go and watch my video on alter ego that I made recently. I've made a few on them, but the most recent one is really, really good on this. So the struggles that are occurring now, whenever you have made the freaking decision and you have committed to shifting, what they are and why they continue to show up and feel like a test, right? That's what it feels like whenever you're truly leveling up. In my opinion, it's not really a test, because that doesn't make sense in my belief system. That like, why would God or the universe test you? That doesn't really make sense. That sounds torturous. That doesn't sound like an abundant universe to me. So what this really is, from my perspective, is that it's actually a culmination and buildup of your past manifestations. So like we've talked about, obviously taking responsibility for your reality really means that, and this is kind of hard to think about sometimes, so this may be a bit triggering, but I have manifested the things that I don't want in my reality. I manifested the things that I do and don't want. I'm that powerful. So your past identity set up this trajectory of manifestations into the 3D reality. As you're shifting into the new identity, your reality is catching up to you in the physical. It takes longer on the physical side of things for things to show up. Energetic can be like an instant switch. On the physical side of things, it takes a little bit longer. So just remember that it's a culmination of the old manifestations of the old identity that are just kind of like coming out, and I don't know, it's like sweeping out the garbage, right? Like, get them out, we're done with them, we're moving on to the new identity. And remember during this period that you are destroying this old version of yourself. So you don't need to emotionally react to it. You don't need to use it as proof that you're not actually leveling up or anything like that. You don't need to think that your old identity is left. No, like no remnants of her are left. And you've made that decision. Make it absolutely impossible for her not to come back. So number 4, this one's like the cherry on top of all of this, is to make all of this come together and to make it really easier for yourself. You're going to have to tap into your dark feminine here and ruthlessly raise your standards on everything, specifically about changing your environment. So what does this mean? Literally, we're going big here because we want a big life, we want a bigger lifestyle, we want a leveled up reality. Then yeah, you have to make the actual decision. And what does this look like? Literally move. Like, if you haven't left your hometown, if you are in an environment that doesn't support your goals and dreams and the people around you are like energy draining, move. Literally move apartments, move houses, get the fuck out. Whatever is holding you back, you need to get away from it. Like, physically get away from it. You can only do so much whenever it comes to setting these energetic boundaries for yourself and making sure that, no one can affect you and you're not emotionally reacting to things. But it does take a little bit of energy to even set those boundaries in the moment. So what you need to do is get away from people, get away from an environment, maybe it's a town that just has this energy of like not succeeding. There's a reason that people move to like bigger cities, like LA, New York, all that sort of stuff. There's a reason that people do that. And it's because the energy there and the people that they're around have similar goals to them. And they're all trying to elevate themselves. They're not trying to be like, oh, you should play small, like rich people are bad. You shouldn't go for what you want. No, that's poison. That's literal poison to your next level identity. And instead of killing off the old one, it is feeding her. So you have to get away from that. And bonus points in this area, if you actually move somewhere that is in proximity to people who want to live the life and lifestyle and have the goals that you have. That will benefit you more than anything. Also, cut off people and literally just ghost people who do not contribute to the future that you desire. At the very least, if it's like family, someone you want to keep around, limit their access to you. This is non-negotiable. You cannot allow someone with their limited beliefs, their limited view of reality to continue to influence your mind, your energy, and your identity. You can't let that happen. Like, this is ruthless. This is non-negotiable. It has to go. So I'm sure that there are, take inventory, right? Like write down the people that you are normally in contact with, that you are, coworkers with, spending a lot of energy with, are involved in your business, are in your friend group. And if all they can talk about is the past and they're not looking at goals for the future, and they also kind of like shit talk your goals or laugh at them like they're a joke, get them out. Get them out. Or at the very least, stop talking to them about your goals. Stop talking to them about the lifestyle that you desire, because people love to spout their limiting beliefs. And I'm personally not here to pick up more limiting ones. I want more expansive ones. I want to be around people who tell me that, oh, you only want like 100K months? Get 1 million, right? Like I want that sort of energy. I don't want, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. No, bitch, we're not here for that. Unfollow anyone who does not benefit your new identity or mindset. So if you're following, accounts, influencers, stuff like that, that actually feed into the fears that you have, or they're kind of like not in the energy of really the lifestyle that you want, just cut it off. Think of your Instagram following as a vision board. Or maybe someone's on there that you still follow from high school. It's just like always complaining or like posting weird shit. Get them out, please. You don't have to reply to anyone. You don't have to follow anyone. You don't owe anyone anything. So just get it out, benefit yourself. What you're intaking through content is like you would be physically eating something. So just like we don't want to consume fast food because it's going to make us feel awful, it's also like energetic food. Whatever you're taking in through content, that is affecting you. It's affecting your mindset. It's affecting your neural pathways. It's affecting your energy. It probably is physically affecting you too. So just get it out. Follow people who motivate you, people who you aspire to be like, people who know more than you on a certain topic that you want to learn on. Make your page and, honestly, just get off of social media altogether if you really want to level up and just, unless it's inspiring content. But if it's anything that's bringing you down, get it away. Make yourself inaccessible. So this is controlling your environment too. And, this one here, it does sound very savage. But if people are sending you things like millions of fucking TikToks or millions of reels and expecting you to spend an hour of your day like scrolling through them and watching them and reacting to them and responding to them, oh my God, literally open it and then close the message and like don't even read them. That's it. Because first of all, you don't know what kind of content they're sending you. Unless there's someone who is like a fellow, level up girly and she's sending stuff like this to you, then great. But if it's just someone that is just sending videos to you that are just wasting your time, you don't owe that a response. You don't owe anyone your time and energy. So if that's annoying to you and you realize that that's actually taking up maybe like an hour of my day that I could be working on my business or doing the inner work or journaling or doing shadow work or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just don't open it. You don't owe anyone a response. If somebody FaceTimes you and then wants to talk about their awful boyfriend for 2 hours and they want to vent about it, stop picking up. It's not your problem. They're probably going to go back to him anyways after all the advice that you've given them. So just stop. It doesn't matter if it's a text. It doesn't matter if it's from a friend or family or whoever. You don't owe anyone anything. And I know this can sound harsh at first and you're like, oh my God, like that's so rude. That's so like not right. But at the same time, if you're very serious about tapping into that dark feminine, setting these standards for yourself, even if this is just something for now while you are reworking yourself, I highly recommend that you don't skip this step. So second to last step is actually go through your closet, go through your makeup drawer, go through your accessories, however, anything that affects your appearance. Donate everything that represents the old identity that you don't want to bring with you into the new one. So maybe you want to dress a lot better, like dress up every day, stuff like that. Well, if all you have is t-shirts and sweatpants and, like comfy clothes that really, not even the cute ones, right? Not even like a cute lounge set, but just clothes with like holes in them that are years old. And that's all you have access to, then that's what you're going to put on. I mean, even myself, I did a whole closet clean out lately, and I kind of cleaned out too much and had a gap in between ordering new clothes and then the old ones. So I was just putting on sweatshirts, stuff like that, and sitting around the house all day in that. And I felt awful. It honestly made me feel physically horrible. So then I wrote down my new alter ego. I was like, no, this bitch does not sit around wearing this. So we're done with that. So I decided to order at least cute lounge sets to sit around in, like the 2-piece sets, if I'm wanting to be comfortable, but mainly getting a whole leveled up wardrobe that actually represented who I am internally now, that represented the new identity. I'm like, we're attached to this. We're 1,000% committed, remember? So why would you be dressing up as the costume as the old version of you who was a people pleaser, who did not, implement her boundaries, who is not in her dark feminine? You're not going to feel like it, because every time you look in the mirror, you're going to see her and be like, oh, fuck, like what a victim, oof, I mean, I'm in this state of being, this happened to her. She doesn't get this. It's powerful. If you've ever heard of mirror work, you know how powerful this is. So when you are able to show up, look at pictures of yourself, look in the mirror and see the new leveled up version of you, that's how you'll start showing up. That's how your brain will literally start to associate yourself as a new person, as a whole new leveled up identity. So last thing is that you need to love the word no. N-O. Not no with an explanation behind it. Literally the word. No is a complete sentence. You need to, even if you feel uncomfortable with it at first, start saying it. Because when you say no to anything that does not contribute to this next level identity, that does not contribute to your level up, that does not, when you say no to something that drains your energy, you're saying yes to the new you. You're saying yes to your manifestations coming in. You're saying yes to actually becoming the CEO of the business that you want to build. You're saying yes to the men who actually want to spoil you when you say no to the ones who don't, right? So you need to start saying no. Women are very uncomfortable with that word no. We feel like we need to apologize, which also takes sorry out of your vocabulary unless you actually did something wrong. But we feel like we need to apologize and explain ourselves if we say no, like, oh my God, I can't do something because no. And once you start saying it enough, people will just get used to it. Like, that's how I am. People know it's not personal when I say no. No, bitch, I just don't want to. I don't want to. It's not what my time and energy and is going towards. No. And so no more playing nice. Like, this is how you will get the lifestyle that you desire. And all of these things here are obviously just how you glow up in general. This is the whole villain arc sort of thing, or villain era. But what this really is you taking your power back, recognizing your own power, and using that awareness to become the dark feminine version of yourself. That's what this is. This is dark feminine energy. And this is honestly how I have changed my life, whether that be through shadow work with dark feminine energy or just extremely ruthless boundaries. It's what you have to get there faster. So now it's time for you to decide, do you want to play around in the old identity and continue to be in the cycle of not getting what you want, not having people show up for you how you want, and feeling like you're in prison and a victim to your reality? Or do you want to tap into that dark feminine, start using some to all of these tips, and actually get the life you fucking want? It's genuinely up to you. It is all your decision, and you get to decide for yourself. So thank you for watching. If you want more content like this whole December and January is going to be really dedicated to feminine energy, but dark feminine energy in particular. So if you want to start this year off with a bang and just really start to glow up, and not just physically, not something that you're going to drop after January, but a whole identity shift into this is your new way of being, then definitely make sure and subscribe and watch the videos that come out after this. But I'm so happy that you're here, and I love spending time with you. I'll see you in the next one.